The first step in our 10 steps to master WordPress in 10 minutes is just to log in. So go ahead and do so with the password that you set in this screen at the HostGator control panel marketplace. Let's also check Remember Me, and let's also bookmark this link so that when you want to log in the future, you can just find this link from your bookmarks or from a folder. Great job. All right, and if you do lose track entirely of where to log in, you can always just visit yourdomainname.com and write in a /wp-admin and click enter, and it'll take you back to the same screen. All right, so that's how I do it sometimes. So let's click login. And welcome to WordPress. We can say we don't need help because you have me. And then the first thing we want to do is just dismiss a few of the notifications, like no thanks right here. And we're going to clean up your dashboard a little bit so that all of us are on the same page and that your site runs perfectly and really simply. All right, so first it says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. What does that look like? Well, I'm going to open up our site in incognito so it doesn't know we're logged in, and show you that the coming soon page looks like this. All right, so anyone other than you, like your friend or your business partner who's not logged in, will see this right when you are at this point in making your WordPress site. So if you want a coming soon page, if you're worried that people will see your site before you launch, then you might want to keep this up. However, I like removing it because then your friend can look at the site and give you feedback. You know, they don't have to be logged in. And it can be kind of confusing if you don't know this page is up and it is, and people aren't actually seeing your site, I guess, to put it hopefully simply. All right, so if you want to keep that page up, if you're worried about how your site will look, then just leave it. But if you want to remove it, click here. And if you want to see how your site looks to the world, you just click in the upper left on your site title, and it'll take you to the front end of your site, which is how the whole world sees it once it's live. At the moment, it's just you that can see it like this because everyone else sees the coming soon page. And if you click on that site title again, it'll take you to the back end or the dashboard where we make all our edits. So just clicking that button will just go from one place to another. Front end to back end. Your call, but I don't like the coming soon page because the colors don't match my branding. So I'm gonna click here and that'll get rid of the coming soon page, and everyone will see your site as it is as you build it. All right, great job. Next, let's click updates. Whenever there's a little red circle, it means that we should update some stuff. So we can just select all on the plugins, which I'll explain in a little bit, and update them. And you can also update the theme. Just a best practice to keep everything updated. All right, so now is a good time also to go to plugins. And in plugins, we can make sure that we are all on the same page. I just want to delete some plugins we don't need. So we can actually activate Akismet. That's an anti-spam tool, which you can sign up for later. It'll reduce spam on your blog posts and pages. And we can delete Hello Dolly. Just click OK. There's no harm in deleting a plugin from your site. You can always reinstall it and get it working again, and you won't experience any negative side effects unless your whole site depends on it. But our site doesn't depend on any of these at the moment. So we're going to deactivate and delete Mojo Marketplace, Opt-in Monster, and Jetpack. You can always bring them back later for free. All right, so if we click plugins again, we should just have one plugin activated, Akismet. What's a plugin in the first place? A plugin is like an add-on to your site. It extends the functionality by definition. So if your WordPress is an apartment, a plugin would be like the television, the oven, the couch. Your apartment doesn't come with those things automatically, just like WordPress doesn't. But when you bring them into your site, plugins allow you to do a lot more, like show social media icons or create an image slider or rank better in Google, and so on and so forth. So you need plugins, but you want to make sure you get the right ones too. And just ask me to share my favorites if you'd like. All right, so we're done with the first step in our 10 steps, and the second step is the theme. Let's change the whole look of our site. If we click our site title to go to the front end now, we see that our site looks, well, like this. It's got one of the default themes in WordPress running. I know that it's called 2016, but everything you see from the black lines to the way the fonts are, the way your sidebar is over here, and every little detail down to the shape of the search box, that's all guided by the theme. So this theme works pretty good for a lot of people, but we want our site to work amazing. So let's change the whole theme. And to do that, we can go up to our upper menu, and we can either click on themes, or we can go the long way, which is click on your site title, and then hover on appearance and click themes. And that'll take you to the same place. And we can see that active is 2016, made by the WordPress team. You can see all the details here, and X out. And so if you wanted to activate one of the other themes that your site came with, just click on the activate button here. Or to get a new theme, we can click on the big plus sign right here. All right, and now you're gonna see a ton of themes. So these are all made by WordPress developers, the WordPress community, and WordPress, features some and says others are popular. And you're gonna wanna play around when you have a moment. The only problem is some themes look really good and then are actually they don't look at all, when you install them like they do right here. Responsive is a really good one that I know, but there's too many themes to keep track of. So I picked out one already, which I know looks good. And it's just called North. So if you just search for North, then it'll find it. All right, and it's by a company called SiteOrigin. SiteOrigin created the smash hit Vantage theme, which absolutely dominated WordPress for the past 3 or even 4 years. So I know you're gonna like North because they made a really popular theme before, and this is one of their new models. All right, so to get North working, we can just hover on it and click install. And then click activate. Cool. And now right away it's gonna say, thanks for using SiteOrigin North. You can learn more about it here, or it's straight to customizer. All right, so we're actually gonna go at our own pace. And we're gonna see what our site looks like. Click the site title, and right away everything looks different. All right, so it's a lot more simple layout, and of course it doesn't look very good at all because there's nothing here. So let's move on to step 3 in 10 steps to master WordPress, adding blog posts. And within this section, I'll also show you how to get free images online. So to get your first blog post live, hover on the skinny nav at the top and click post. And let's start off right away with an image. So open a new tab, and I like going to a site called Pixabay, Pixabay.com. All right, when you go to Pixabay, you can get all sorts of free high quality nature images. And any way you want to search basically works. You can't go wrong. So if you have a food blog, if you have a nature blog, whatever kind of thing you want. I usually like going with nature. And once you click on an image you like, you can also click on the categories. So that's pretty cool. And you can try to find the best possible image. So I'm going to search for New Zealand, because I just visited there and I've been pretty obsessed with it. And I'm just going to use this image, the first one, because I was actually there. That's the gondola in Queenstown. It's pretty cool. And we actually golfed right there. That's a story for another time, though. And to get a nice image, just click free download. And then you can choose the size. So the second to largest one is good, really good. Click download. And then it's going to ask you to sign in or do the CAPTCHA. And I just did a free social media sign in before. So then we need to title it. And save it. Cool. Now we can go to the blog post, and you can easily insert an image into the blog post by clicking Add Media, then click Select Files, then just find the image on your computer. So that's usually in Downloads or on your desktop. When you find it, you can double click or click Open, It will upload to your WordPress, your blog, and will be stored in your hosting. And then you just have to choose the display settings, so whether it shows up like really big or smaller in the post, and if you want it to float around text or link to something. All right, and then you can click Insert into Post. So I chose the big setting, so we get a huge high quality image. But we actually just want to click it and remove this because we want our image in the featured image section so that the theme does something beautiful with it. So click Set Featured Image, choose the image, and Set Featured Image. And we'll see that in just 1 second. For now, we need a title. So how about made it to the top in New Zealand? And then some text. Sorry about the noise. I guess the chase is on with my kittens. Categories are good for people and the search engines to find your posts, so why not add a new category and choose something basic like travel. We can uncheck uncategorize, and tags are even more specific than categories like New Zealand, or if categories are food, then tags are brownies and cookies. All right, great job. And we can leave the rest of the settings the same, although they're a lot of fun to play around with later. And let's publish the post, or in my case, update, because I already published it. All right, now we just need to click the site title to go back to the home page, and we can see that our first blog post is live. Great job. And the North theme did something beautiful with the image. It inserted it in this perfect square right here. So that's where featured images will go. And it looks really professional. You can see the byline here for your author and the date, and then once you start getting comments, those will show up in the link right next to the title right here. All right, so the next step in our 10 steps to master WordPress is pages. Pretty similar to posts, but slightly different. Let's go back to our skinny nav and click New Page. And let's just create an About Me page, so About Me. So this one's cool. I'm gonna show you how to get another image now, but this one's gonna be from our own gallery because it's an About Me page. All right, I'm just gonna open up the Photos app on my Mac. If you're on a PC, then just go with the default photo uploading app. I already had to plug in my phone and click import, and so now I have some images to choose from. Sorry, they're kind of goofy. And I think a good one would be like, maybe, so I have a few images, yes, hey Snowy, images to choose from, and I'm gonna go with like this one. So to get it from the app to your WordPress, I like doing the old-fashioned drag to the desktop. Now go back to WordPress in your browser and just click Add Media again, upload files, select files, and you'll see that new image on your desktop. All right, so we didn't rename it, but that's okay for now. We can just double click, and it's a big image because it came from a phone. Now we're gonna size the image down to large and set the alignment to the left so that the text will sit to the right of the image. You'll see that in a second. Just click Insert into Page. We have our nice looking image. And so now I'm just gonna write a little About Us blurb that will hopefully look good on our new blog. So if we click anywhere to the right of the image and then start typing, then you'll see your text appear right away. You just gotta start typing. Okay, so when you start writing, sometimes the image goes in the wrong place. And an easy way to fix that is just to click the text tab, and then you can find the part of this blog post which is the image. So in our case, we have text and image, and we can see if we look close enough that the text ends after tutorial, and then there's just like this image HTML. So we're gonna separate it by hitting enter, then we're gonna highlight all of the image HTML, and we're gonna cut it. Then we're gonna come to the top, make some space, and just put that image back there, because the image should have been at the top. It just likes kind of hugging the text. So now I'm gonna click visual, then the image will align perfectly. Great job. And we can even clean up that one space. All right, so that's starting to look like a professional About Me page. If you'd like, you can go back to the text tab and actually do a lot within this little HTML editor window. For example, you can add some styling to the image, such as style equals quotation mark border, 2 pics, just a random size I chose, dashed blue, semicolon quote, and give your image a nice border around it. Keep in mind there's pretty much unlimited things you can do within WordPress because you are now in control of the internet, and as many real web pages as you want on the internet. All right, so let's just publish our page. I think it's ready to go. And we'll check it out by clicking the home page. And we can see we have a link to our new page in the navigation menu. And there she is. All right, so just to start, obviously a lot more that we could do. All right, so the 5th step in our 10 steps to master WordPress involves the links to your blog posts and pages, also called URLs and also called permalinks. So if you're anything like me, you'll see a page that you're on the web and you'll look up here in the URL bar in your browser. And what we don't want to see is anything complicated, such as an index.php or a date even, because that can outdate your posts over time in the eyes of Google. All you want to see are keywords like about me. So to simplify your links or permalinks, go back to the dashboard with me, hover on settings and just click permalinks. All right, and now we just need to choose post name. There's a bunch of options. I'm not really sure why, but they could be useful for someone. And click save changes with that post name selected. Now when we go to our blog, WordPress will know that the blog post and the about me should only have the keyword right there after the domain name. Great job. And that'll apply to all of your links going forward, which you want. All right, part 6 is going to be involving our homepage. So let's click on our site title right here. And I just want you to know that the homepage doesn't have to show off your blog posts. All right, so what I like doing when I build a website for a client or make a blog for a client sometimes is showcasing a huge image with buttons on it or an image slider on the homepage, and then they'll have to click somewhere to get to the blog. So it's not the first thing they see with the blog. It's more just like some beautiful information about the company. So if you want to do that, I'm going to create a separate tutorial because that alone will take about 10 or 15 minutes to set up. But the basic way to start doing that is to make a page called front page. So you'd go to new page and you just call it front page and click publish. I know this looks crazy confusing right now, but then you'd go to settings, reading, and here's the crux of it all. Where front page displays shows, you would change it from your latest blog post to a static page and make that front page equal to the front page. You don't have to call it front page. I just like doing that because it's WordPress terminology. And then you'd make your post page the blog. So you'd have to create a page for a blog too. Anyways, just a little bit of advanced WordPressing. That will be definitely for another tutorial coming soon. All right, so look out for that. For now, we're going to stick with our latest posts on the homepage and just save changes. All right, the 7th step in how to master WordPress is creating a menu. So follow me now to Appearance, Menus. Very good. And even though our site has a few items in the upper area, that's just WordPress guessing what should go up here. So we don't want the sample page, of course, and we might want these two rearranged or removed. So in menus, start off by clicking create a new menu. Call it something as simple and explanatory as possible, like main menu, and click create menu. Next, you can choose what goes in it by checking these boxes here, like that, and clicking add to menu. If you have something in here that's not ready yet and you want to remove it, open it and click remove. Make sure to choose the display location, such as primary menu, which is where it'll go on our theme. Different themes will have different display locations. And lastly, I want to add a custom link to our homepage. So click custom link, open up your site, copy the URL, We're going a little quicker now because we're getting a lot better at WordPress as we go through. I can feel it. And now, oops, that was my bad. Copy, paste it in there, and just give it some text like home and click add to menu. You can reposition menu items by dragging and dropping. And finally, save menu. And let's go to our site and refresh to see what we made. Great job. You now know how to make a menu in WordPress. All right, so I'd like to show you how to make a logo now. And to do that, I like starting at logomaker.com. That's logo maker without the E. Remember to remove that E. All right, and this is just a great place to find logos and graphics. If you search for a graphic like compass, I'm a big fan of compasses, then you'll get all these really cool icons that could be a logo or maybe just an icon explaining your services or your goals or your mission statement. And then when you find one that you really like, you can just click on it like that. You can easily change the color by dragging around the color wheel. Like, you know, you might like a dark blue. I really like a nice dark blue. You can change the size by dragging and, you know, dropping. And that's literally just the start of what you can do here in Logo Maker. You can also add text, for example. Just click on the T and type something. All right, for now I'm going to show you how to save and upload this logo. Click crop in the lower right. Now click save logo in the upper right. Sorry, got the lower and upper mixed up. Long day. And now we're going to save this as, you know, logo version 1. Save it. And because this logo is free, we do just have to paste a few little credits on the site. So just click this button right here. And now come back to our blog. All right, and we're going to go to the dashboard here. We're going to make a new page by clicking pages on the left, add new, and we're just going to call this page credits, and then drop in that little credit from Logo Maker so we don't forget to do that later. Very important stuff that you don't want to forget. All right, so yeah, because that's code we pasted, it should actually go in the text tab. All right, so paste that in there, and then when you click back to visual, it will look good. If you just publish your page, don't worry, it doesn't show up right away on the site. Just make sure to add that in later. We can also go back to pages, and we can click trash on the sample page. All right, now to upload our logo, I'm going to show you the customizer area where a lot of the fun goes on in WordPress. Just hover on appearance and click customize. So this will be where we do the rest of our mastering WordPress steps. To insert the logo, just go to whatever you think might be the right section. But in our case, I know it's the site identity. And because no logo is selected, select logo, upload again, select again. And let's find that logo from our downloads. There she is, and open. Great job, and select it. All right, now we need to just crop it a little bit, drag, and crop image. All right, so now let's save and publish, and let's see how our logo shows up. It might be too big, it might be perfect. Refresh, and it's a little bit too big. How about that? So come back with me to customize, and I'm gonna show you a really clever and easy way to change the size of something on your site and do it the way a professional web designer would. So if we go back, we can navigate to the additional CSS section where you can add your own CSS here. So when I learned WordPress at the start, I had no idea what CSS was and it held me back. I want to show you right away what you can do here because that way you'll feel a lot more powerful with everything. So we can just delete the dummy text here. You can also actually click the help icon to learn more. Right, so this is helpful stuff too if you'd like to learn more about CSS. And for now, I just want to show you how to write a little bit. So all it is just hashtag masthead period site dash branding img. And that is going to say, listen up logo. We are talking to you. Then do an open bracket like that and just write in max width 75%, semicolon, and close bracket. And then that much, when you click on the site, it should refresh. And then if you don't see the changes right away, it's just because we gave it the wrong percent. So let's try lower, like 5 or 25. We can see that this will automatically change the size of our logo because it's telling it to only go a certain width, and it's a circle, so that width applies to every part of it. All right, so I like a nice small logo, kind of like the Apple website or the Uber website or, you know, the Netflix website or something like that. So 15%, 20% is too much, and 15 is perfect. So 15% is perfect. Now when we save and publish, we go back to the site and refresh, we can see our new logo looks a lot sharper. Great job. We just want to get rid of that text beneath it, which is our site tagline. So let's go back to customize here, back, site identity, and we can get rid of that tagline, which is still showing up. Just delete it right there. Save and publish. Refresh. Wow, doesn't that feel better? All right, the final 2 steps to master WordPress are just a matter of cleaning up the site. The first area you want to clean up is our sidebar. And to do that, you can go back to Customize, back, and click Widgets. And then you can click Main Sidebar and literally just delete everything we don't want in our sidebar. Remove, 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 and save and publish. Now refresh, and our sidebar will look a lot cleaner, but a little bit empty. So maybe we want to put in like a Facebook box in our sidebar. How do we do that? Well, we can go to the Facebook like box through Google, and we'll get the like box itself. So we can open that, and it's going to say like, okay, this is what you can and can't do. So we actually want to go back, and we want to go to the page plugin. All right, and this is what you see typically on the web on any major website that has their Facebook box, and you can like it right from the page itself. So this part's really fun. You're gonna learn about inserting Facebook onto a website. So let's just give ourselves the right link here. Mine's already there. Go ahead and create a Facebook page if you need it. It's obviously free. And then we can set a max width to maybe about 300. And this will update. And then you can play around with the settings. So I think actually the small header is pretty cool. I like being brief. Now we just need to click Get Code. And what we'll do is grab this bottom code first, just how I like doing it. Copy that and come back to WordPress. Add a widget. Choose a text widget where you can put in arbitrary text or HTML. That's the key. And then just paste in that code from Facebook. And so let's give it a little chance to load, save it, and refresh. Let's see if it worked. And it didn't quite work. In fact, it doesn't know that it should appear. It's just a link to Facebook. All right, so that means that we need to insert the second part of code from Facebook. We need to go back to this page and copy the step 2 code and put that somewhere on our site. But where do we put that? Well, the perfect place to put it is actually inside a plugin, which might sound crazy confusing, I know, but if you made it this far, you can definitely insert this code onto your site. Just go back to the dashboard by clicking the X. Clicking X will actually take you back to where we were when we went to customize. So we're on the pages list. And now let's click on plugins. And you're going to learn how to add a new plugin. It's just like adding a new theme. Click add new. Search for it, and I want WP Insert Code. Super simple plugin I use on a lot of my sites. It's usually in the upper left corner. In this case, it's the one with the magenta colored, thumbnail. And click Install Now. Now activate, and this will bring us to the plugins page where we now have 2 plugins. Very nice, looking good. And we want to just hover on settings, where we now have a new section for this new plugin. So click that. And then we're just going to paste in this code from Facebook right in the header. So the header is a great place to paste in analytics code or Facebook code or Google code. You don't actually need to know how the code works. You just need to paste it in the right place. And that's how a lot of the world works. Just side note, people don't really know what the code means. We just use it. Save changes, and now refresh your beautiful blog, and we'll see that the Facebook like box populates perfectly. It's just like chomping off part of our site. I'm not sure why. All right, speaking of cleanup, we might as well also delete our sample post here. So let's just open it. It's kind of cool that we have one comment already, but I'm sure you'll get more as you promote your blog, which will be the next section. All right, so let's go to posts and just trash hello world. All right, now we check out our site. Looks a lot cleaner. And the final step in mastering WordPress, or at least becoming a master, as I'll call you, is just to edit our footer. All right, so there's a lot of stuff you will do in WordPress, but this will make you a master to begin with, and then you'll become more of a master. So we're gonna edit the footer right now. How do we do that? Let's go to customize. And in this section, you would definitely expect to see something for the footer. Maybe in widgets? Nope, that's not in widgets, although you do get a top bar, which is kind of cool. Try that out later. We just need to know where to edit this piece right here. So we can go back. We can go back to the dashboard. And there's a lot of your site that lives in Appearance Editor. So this is where like the nuts and bolts of your site lives. And if you actually edit something here and do it in the right way, it'll show up on the homepage or on a blog post. So you can, if you want to go this way, and in this case we do. We just want to do a Command F, look for footer. We want to open the theme footer file, and we want to just come down to where it says div class equals site info. All right, so I'm kind of encouraging you to become a little bit of a beginner coder here, which is definitely going to help later on as you learn more and more about the internet and how to make an amazing WordPress site that's beautiful and the audience loves it because you know how to do everything with it, or even teach it. So what we want to do here is just like Command A, Command C, the entire file. We want to open a new text file and just paste it in there and call this north theme footer.php backup and save it. So that way if we do anything wrong, copy paste it from here into your site and you'll be back to normal in no time. For now, I know that we can actually delete everything in this container right here, or we can just modify like little sections of it. So I'm gonna go for the whole enchilada and just delete all of it. I'm gonna write in copyright 2017, vertical bar, this site rocks, vertical bar, all rights reserved. So, I'm kind of making a joke of this, but seriously, Naragai tutorials. That's my YouTube channel. All right, and we can also put in a link if we want, but for now, text will do. Let's just steal this copyright icon from the site itself. And we can actually paste that in right there and update file. So you can see how like on WordPress, you can pretty much do anything within reason. All right, and now we have a totally new footer that you now know how to do because you're an expert with Appearance Editor. Just don't get too overconfident and chop up every one of these files because that might hurt your site. All right, but you know how to edit the footer. You're much further ahead than most bloggers when they make their first blog. All right, so that does it. We're now done with 10 steps to master WordPress in 10 minutes or maybe a little bit more. Sorry about that, but thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you now know more than you ever could have imagined about WordPress.